So Steve, I'm going to be the first to say this in simple words that speak for all of us. You're awesome.
Fantastic teacher, fantastic friend. Just makes you feel like you're worth $1 million, like you're the best economist in the world.
If Steve were a drug, he'd be illegal, because the amazing thing is that he's so far above the rest of us, and I think all of us would agree with that.
One dinner that I had with Steve said, "Hey, you guys do these differential equations. Why don't they just integrate over the final distribution?" He said just like that, and I just understood finance. Just like that. It was one of those two sentences over a dinner that could make a career.
He is one of those few people in the world with whom I can spend an evening, and when we part, I'd say to myself, I wish we'd spent a few more hours together.
I just think of all the basic concepts that he really emphasized to me, and he's emphasized to the profession, and I'm sure to most of you.
You'd go and you say, I'm working on a general equilibrium problem, and it uses the first theorem of welfare economics in the following way, and Steve would go, yeah, I can see what you're doing. You'd sort of be 4 steps ahead of you.
You have to keep up with him. You got to work hard at that. It's a little intimidating.
A lot of these things I'm not sure I still fully get, but at the same time, I sort of feel like over the course of my career, I'm kind of getting it more and more.
Somehow he had this amazing ability to make you feel like you could be successful and give you the encouragement you needed.
He has this excellent talent of simplifying the very difficult problems.
Basically, in terms of my career and much of my personal life, I owe him everything.
He was a very inspiring teacher, and I think, he sent 3 of us, Larry Kotlikoff and myself and Larry Weiss, who was here earlier in the conference. We all went off to graduate school together at Harvard, and I think except for Steve, we might not have done that.
This is Steve's, gift. He can sort of figure out what you can do and tell you how to do it, and then Chapter 2 was a little easier once I had that.
Steve has been inspiration to me from so many years until today.
Each of the founding members I spoke of your mentorship as a defining moment in their lives.
You taught me how to think, and I really thank you for that.
As you've heard many, many times, I owe absolutely everything to Steve Ross. God only knows what course I would have taken if it hadn't been for him. So, Steve, thank you very, very much.
You were very good to take me on and give me the opportunity to work on something that actually interested me.
And I really want to use this opportunity just to say thank you, that life would have been different.
Steve has been great advocates for us all. Somehow or other, if Steve thought we were good, and he always thought we were better than we really were, he would broadcast to the world how wonderful we were.
Steve, the fact that after all this time, the positive residual of your professorial efforts are remembered so fondly, recognized and appreciated by all those fortunate enough to be on the receiving end, is nothing but astounding.
Much of that careful thinking and tight link between methodology and data work owe to those supposedly 3 minutes conversation with in Steve's office. It is impossible to imagine the counterfactual, how my career would have evolved without those extensive and very satisfying conversations. That was read by Shmuel Kandel a couple of weeks before he passed away.
He's an incredibly positive man. I've never heard Stephen say anything negative that's life-related.
Being nice to people and changing their lives makes a difference far longer than you can possibly imagine.
You're all growing up now, and so I can take the gloves off. I don't have to say nice things to you anymore. We can argue, but I have an enormous advantage in any argument. If I lose it, I'm very proud.